hotheads? I'm Henry and this is Blaze the Roof. This week we're reviewing a sauce named Tonguespank Serrano Margarita. Now it is from a company named Tonguespank, which is out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Tonguespank was founded by James Lindsay, who actually started off the company as Salt Lake Spice Company. Then during the Kickstarter phase, he merged with a company named Tonguespank and eventually bought that company as well. His bumper crop kept being more than he could ever use, but he didn't want to make sauces that were either fermented or used a lot of vinegar, so he decided to go the route of dehydrating his peppers. It's actually out of, I think it's called Lehi or Lehi, Utah, Lehi. It's a suburb of Salt Lake City, so we'll talk about Salt Lake City. There's actually a lot to talk about. It's a pretty fascinating city. The world's first KFC is actually here in Salt Lake City. The Utah Jazz, who's the NBA's biggest disappointment this year probably, aside from the Lakers, were originally from New Orleans, because that makes a lot more sense, New Orleans Jazz, and moved to Utah. It actually has the moniker as the gayest city in the United States. More so than San Francisco. It's very friendly. They even have currently a gay mayor. So it's also right by the Great Salt Lake, hence the name. It is a very dense lake, so it's very buoyant. And you absolutely won't sink in the lake.
Sink your foot! Fucking stupid bastard lake!
The Great Salt Lake also supposedly has a sea monster named the North Shore Monster, which has the body of a crocodile and the head of a horse. But again, I'm wondering if it can submerge in the water because of the buoyancy. Salt Lake City also eats more Jell-O per capita than anywhere else in the world. It's also the biggest manufacturer of rubber chickens. I wonder if there's a correlation there, right? 2.5 hours north of Salt Lake City, there's a man-made jetty that was made in the 1970s. The water level rose so high that you could not see it until 2002 when the water level finally dropped and has been seen ever since. I guess global warming is good for something now. Famous people from Salt Lake City include Roseanne Barr, who is just a horrible, just not funny. I liked Roseanne growing up, but like her comedy is dumb. She's an idiotic Trump supporter. Julianne Hough, who's famous for being a country singer and model and actress. I don't know who these next two people are at all, but anyway, Cytherea was born here and Belladonna lives there now. I heard they make movies of an adult variety, and I definitely don't know that one, so it's definitely a squirter. But look them up on your private time. Again, it's not safe for work, so be very careful when you do so. Steve Young, who's a Hall of Fame quarterback and played his football at Brigham Young University, quarterback of the 49ers and Super Bowl winner, is also from Salt Lake City. Bobby McFerrin lives there right now.
That was Bobby McFerrin's new one. I'm worried.
Need money.
So let's look at the packaging now. I personally like the logo of Tonguespank. It's got a really cool, it's just got a cool font to it, and it's also got the flourishes in the bottom and top, like bordering it. I think it's simple, it's understated, yet it's elegant. The label itself, where it has the name of it, Margarita, the Serrano Margarita, is really cool because it looks almost like a tape, or actually like a cut fabric that's been weathered and then printed on there. Batch number 10. So I won't lie to you, it took me forever to find a sauce out of Utah. So it does say it's mild heat, and again, just a black wrapper, black cap. Pretty nothing too fancy, but not gaudy. I think it's very understated and elegant. So the ingredients include green serrano chiles, fresh lime, vinegar, agave liquor, sugar, and salt. So the ingredient I want to talk about is the agave liquors. So we're going to talk about a little bit about tequila and the difference between tequila and mezcal, right? So tequila is a type of mezcal, but it's made from a specific bush, the agave tequilana, which is the blue agave. Now, whereas mezcal uses any type of agave, mezcal comes from the Nahuatl word for cooked agave, which is mezcali. Mezcal is roasted in pots while tequila is steamed. So the plant is basically pulverized, fermented, then distilled. And that's how you get the liquor out of it. Mezcal also did have a bad reputation until regulators finally cleaned up what could be put into mezcal in the 1990s. And since then, you started seeing mezcal bars, and you're starting to actually see it be a lot more widely accepted. So tequila always has to be prepared a specific way. Mezcal didn't have all those regulations, and so it was therefore kind of seen as moonshine or unclean. And according to legend, a lightning bolt struck an agave plant, split it open, and cooked the inside of it. And when it released the liquid, they drank it, and they called it the nectar of the gods. So before we get any further, though, let's hear from this week's sponsor.
Here at Butt Stuff, we're known for our rubs. We have our own house rubs for our select cuts of meat, such as pork butt, rump roast, and lamb shanks. First, we rub your meat. Once we stuff your butt, we'll rub your actual butt with an after meal massage. How cheeky. That's right. Rubs, then rubs. Butt Stuff. We got your back.
Now for the moment of truth. So first off, this is a very liquidy and pulpy sauce, though. It smells a lot like vinegar. When you get I don't smell anything that smells like tequila, though, so that's a good thing, because I'm one of those Mexicans that can't do tequila at all. And again, because it is green Serrano and lime, it looks exactly like that, right? It's got a light greenish color to it. Here we go. Okay, it is a mild heat. Just waiting to see if there's a burn. There might be a slight burn at the tip of the tongue. It's kind of more in the middle of the tongue, actually. So it is very citrusy, right? I don't get the flavor of agave, but I don't really taste like anything like tequila either. It's more, I guess, like the lime and the Serrano. So it's a lightweight as far as heat goes. Very flavorful. I could definitely see throwing this on anything that's like Mexican street tacos. Any type of actually Mexican tacos. Well seasoned. There's nothing, it's not too salty. I think it's a perfect amount of salt. The vinegar isn't overpowering. The lime combined with the vinegar mixed with everything else, I think it gives it a nice tang, but it's not too overpowering. It's not too sour where you'll pucker up. Like last week's sauce was very sour. This week's is a lot more usable, and especially if lime goes on it, this would be a perfect sauce for that. Again, well done, and especially out of Utah, considering I think this would be something that I could throw on most Mexican food. So, and again, you could get creative with it. Southwest food, I guess. Well done, Tonguespank. Although my tongue did not feel spanked. It's more like a nice tap. Anywho, next week we'll be reviewing a sauce named Off the Deck Good Peter. There's a joke there somewhere. Until then, I'm Henry, and remember, spice up your life. Take care.